how did you meet your co-founder, Jacek?
Oh, it was 2 years ago, 2 years and something, maybe more now. And it was because he was living in Berlin at that moment, so he was also in Europe. I was in Barcelona, and he was working at Provet Incubator at that time. I was freelance, like food scientist freelance, like working for several companies in alternative proteins projects. But I was looking for an opportunity to start something myself. And at that moment, I remember I was talking with a connection that I have, like a colleague that I have, and he told me, "Wow, I have to introduce you to someone that's in Berlin right now. So he's in Europe like you, and he's looking for a co-founder that can bring the technical side of the company because he has the idea and he has the business background, but he's looking for the technical, like the R&D person." And so he introduced Jacek and and it was kind of instant match because I don't know. He explained to me about his idea of founding Kuleana, and he already had the name, I have to say. And he explained to me about the situation with the bluefin tuna species that they are about to get extinct. So really crazy when you see the numbers. I don't know if you have seen Seaspiracy, the documentary that's in Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend it because it's shocking when you see all these numbers and all this reality. It's so shocking. And in my case, I was already like with the mission of saving the animals, doing something for the animals, doing plant-based alternatives. But I was more interested in let's say, terrestrial mammals like pork, like beef, etc., chicken, but not so much into the fish. And so it was Jacek who opened my eyes. And at that moment, when he explained to me about the situation with the overfishing and everything, I was like, wow, I have to do something. I have to do something. And I couldn't hesitate for a moment. So almost the same moment, the same meeting the first meeting that we had, Jacek and I told him, yes, I'm going to be your co-founder.
Interesting. I think there's definitely a lot of people interested in, even if they're not making the commitment to, say, become fully vegan or vegetarian, looking for alternative protein sources that are more sustainable and healthy. And that's what's driving a lot of the adoption of alternative meat products, like even Beyond Burger or Impossible Burger, for example.
Yes, yes, totally, totally. Still, we see that we have to convince the flexitarian, let's say, or the people that are still eating fish or eating meat, because the vegans are easier to convince, but we have to go to the other consumer because they are the ones that are still generating the problem, right? And we have to bring them alternatives that will be easy to embrace and convince them that we can bring them something that's equally satisfying in terms of palatability, in terms of everything. Because now it happens that probably there are some products that could be okay for vegans, but then for a person that's not vegan or not vegetarian, they wouldn't be able to make the switch. So what we have to do is like bring them alternatives, options that are super tasty, super good, and that they can easily do this switch.